Something crazy happened this week. I don't know if you guys experienced this. It's sort of out of the blue, ordinary. My friend got a job. I don't know. It's kind of wild. But it was a sales job for a paper company. And in order to accept it, she had to pass a drug test, which seems a little messed up because it was a rolling paper company. And I didn't know Easy Water had such high standards. Anyways, I used to smoke a lot of weed, and I had to stop, and I realized I had to stop because it was making me racist, and I experienced this. It was like a really nice day, so I decided to toke up and go for a run on the canal path, and so I was out running, and I saw a Hispanic guy and a white lady walking with an Asian child. And all my stone brain could think was, oh, so that's how you make those. Which is totally not okay. But then a little bit later, I saw a black guy and an Indian walking with a pregnant Indian woman, and I got so excited, wondering what she had in the oven. And I'm pretty sure the correct answer is a Native American, in case you're wondering. But yeah, no. Am I the only one who hopes heaven is segregated? I mean, not like racially, just like people who annoy me and people who don't. Like, I feel like we should have our own sections. Like, I wouldn't want it to be racial. I would want it to be like people who can't spell your or their wrong. Like, I don't want them in my section of heaven. Like, I don't think they should go to hell, but I don't think we should have to share the same drinking fountain cloud, if that makes any sense. So, I don't know. I'm probably going to hell anyways. But, oh man, I don't know, like, I love thinking about heaven and hell and Christianity. And, like, I was thinking about it the other day, and I realized that born-again Christians are, like, the most sexually deviant people out there. Because, like, normal deviance is physical. Like, it's like, oh, we pee on each other, whatever weird shit people are into. But, like, it takes a special kind of messed up to, like, genuinely believe you're going to burn forever for doing something and go through with it anyways. Like, if you really believe you're going to hell for having sex. And then once you cross that threshold, there's not a whole lot you won't do. It's sort of like the ship's going down. You don't want to leave any regrets. But it's something that they take, like, born-again Christians take very seriously. And my parents are very religious, and they got me a relationships book. And I want to share a section with you. It's teaching people how to save themselves for Jesus. And which doesn't really make sense to me because I read the book and he wasn't that into banging. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of that going on. But yeah, this is the physical intimacy scale. So basically the premise is you're supposed to, like, pick a line of how comfortable you are, like how you can go physically and still call yourself a Christian, or like still call yourself a virgin. So it starts off pretty tame. Number 1 is embracing and hand-holding, like very G-rated. Number 2, we move on to cuddling and gentle caressing. But we're staying away from the T&A regions, like just a little bit of like arm over the shoulder. Number 3, we move to polite kissing on the lips. And I'm not really sure what makes it polite. Like, I think you have to hold the door first, maybe, and, like, say thank you afterwards. Number 4, we move to passionate total mouth kissing. We're getting a little more excited. But number 5 is intense and prolonged total mouth kissing. So I don't know who's doing, like, the abridged makeout for number 4, but like, you really have to take these rules carefully. And we're at 5, and we're, like, barely at first base, so we need to speed it up, coming back around. Number 6, we move to fondling breasts and genitals outside the clothes, so we're moving a second. Number 7, fondling breasts and genitals under the clothes. Now we're really getting warmed up. The clothes are still on, but we're doing okay. Number 8 is my favorite one of all. It is oral or genital stimulation to orgasm outside the clothes. And I still haven't figured out how to do it. That's the old Levi special, over the pants blowjob, I think. Number 9, we moved to oral or genital stimulation to orgasm under the clothes. So we're getting like to a blowjob, but the clothes are still on. So I'm not really sure how that's supposed to work. And so finally, number 10 is genital intercourse. And we're a little unclear about the clothes. Like, you might have to pick a hole in a sheet or something. I'm not sure if you're supposed to be seeing each other. But despite all of what I just said, I actually broke my dry spell this week. It was very exciting. I got laid for the first time in a very long time. And thank you. It was exciting. And I was with this chick, and it was like the greatest experience I've ever had in bed. I was fucking her, I'll say it. Like, we were going at it pretty well. And all of a sudden she said, "I used to be a dancer." Which is kind of a weird thing to say, just in the middle of the act. And so I just ignored it and kept on going. And then she was like, "Well, I'm really flexible. I can put my feet behind my head if you want." At which point I fell out of bed laughing, which is not the response I think she was looking for with that. But it struck me as so funny that on some level, her parents had paid for her to develop that skill. Like when she was very, very young. Like, I don't know how they justified that at the youth sports sign-ups. Like, usually you hear like, "Oh, we're signing Johnny up for soccer." Like, he's learning leadership and teamwork and like all the skills that will make him a very good businessman someday. It's like, "Oh, we're signing Jenny up for gymnastics. She's learning flexibility and poor body image and like a willingness to put on wacky outfits and try new things." So, I think, I don't know. I don't understand women. I can't communicate with them at all. I got a text the other day from a friend. I was texting her and I said, "Hey, how's DC?" She had just moved to DC and she was like, "Oh, it sucks. All the guys here are awful. I think I'm gonna buy myself a rabbit." Which, I have a Volkswagen Rabbit, and I thought it was a weird non sequitur, but I thought that was what she was talking about. I didn't realize it was a sex toy, so my response was, "Oh, that's cool. I just bought one myself." I picked it up used, so I was able to get it for cheap. But it starts like a charm and always gets me where I'm trying to go. So, we're not talking anymore. But, I don't know, I don't get like women's products either. I saw a commercial the other day for a Summer's Eve feminine hygiene product, and it said Summer's Eve available in 2, I don't know if flavors is the right word, like, I don't know who's eating vagina detergent, but it was like Summer's Eve available in 2 varieties, vinegar or baking soda. And I was like, shouldn't that have a warning not to be used together? Like, I don't know what girl wants to have like a 2nd grade science project going on in her panties. But I'll close on this. I also saw another commercial that made me sign up for Twitter. It was for Kotex, actually, Kotex tampons. And at the end of the commercial, it said, "If you love all natural cotton and aloe, tweet us, #Kotex4Real." And I was like, what girl is going to be on Twitter and be like, "What has 2 thumbs and is on the rag? This chick, #Kotex4Real." Like, I could understand it, like maybe it's a warning, like, "I'm going out to the club tonight, no guys are getting any, #Kotex4Real." I've been tweeting it a lot, like, "Oh, my girlfriend just yelled at me for no reason, #Kotex4Real." Really? Tears, Ben & Jerry's, and The Notebook tonight? #Kotex4Real. And I'm just curious, like, if you get a bunch of women together for an extended period of time, like, do the tweets start trending at the same time every month? That's what I want to know. Anyways, that's my time. I'm Marcus Cox. Thanks for listening, guys.